This is DRF Race of the Day. Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF Race of the Day for Sunday, February the 7th, race number 3 at Aqueduct. Let's throw up the field for the $100,000 Ruthless Stakes. It kicks off a mandatory payout in the 20-cent Empire 6. Only a field of 5, Mike, but some very promising horses in this race and a good amount of speed.
Yeah, true. I mean, another stakes race in New York here. Yeah, we've had a lot of these recently without big fields, but some interesting fillies in here. A lot of horses with potential too. I feel like this is a pretty good race.
You can download free Formulator past performances for the Ruthless on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Access them, handicap along with us. We'll throw up the Timeform US pace projector. Miss Brazil was a gate-to-wire winner last time out. You have to think her hooves are forced from the inside post. Dealing Justice at legitimate fractions when she won last time out. But I think Little Huntress is very, very fast, and I would not be surprised if Kendrick Carmouche has her on the lead.
Oh, yeah, I kind of looked at it the same way. I mean, I don't know if Miss Brazil has plenty of speed, Dan, and we'll see how aggressive Eric Hensel wants to get from the gate. I feel like he's probably going from down there, but I agree with you. Little Huntress is fast.
Miss Brazil earned a 93 buyer speed figure in the race we're going to show you right now. A maiden going 6.5 furlongs, her one and only start on dirt. She went right to the front. She put away a couple of other horses, and she kept on going. She beat 2 next out winners in this field. Now, she was 7-1 in this race against maidens. She's going to be a lot shorter in the Ruthless.
She is going to be a lot shorter here. This was, it's not surprising that she was a pretty big price in here, though, Dan, because the horse that's running second to her right there, Caramel Swirl, had already run a race, and she had run a pretty big one, too, first time out for Godolphin and Bill Mott, finishing second in her debut in a really live race. And so, this horse had to run fast, Miss Brazil, to win that race, and she did run fast. I don't know about you, Dan. I was impressed with that win.
I was very impressed with the way she took pressure early through the turn and kept on going. And again, she has to deal with the inside post and some other speeds, but it looks like she has a lot of potential. I mean, 93 buyer for a second time out 3-year-old filly this time of the year is pretty impressive indeed. Let's watch Dealing Justice's maiden win in her second lifetime start. Now, she raced with Lasix in this race. She won't race with Lasix in the Ruthless. I liked how she got right up close to this quick pace on the outside, and then she forges right on by the favorite. This is a professional performance for a filly that I think won't have any issues with the additional distance.
Yeah, agreed. She did take a nice step forward here to get the job done. Just caught a real tough race, obviously. First time out in that Miss Brazil race. Didn't run poorly at all in there, but all she could do was chase. Took a nice step forward there. Unfortunately for her, Dan, feels like she's going to have to improve again.
It cans the outsider in this race at 30-1. She won her first 2 starts, thrown into stakes company at Laurel last time out. She caught Laurel's best 2-year-old filly, Street Loot, who's sort of a win machine, and she really didn't threaten much. It was kind of a race where she saved ground. There wasn't a lot of pace. She got a little shuffle, and she came on again. I think the hope is maybe there's a pace meltdown, and she can get a piece of this.
Yeah, that's probably the right way to look at it. She'll probably be somewhere off the pace this time, and we'll try to make a late run. I mean, all in all, her extra heat wasn't bad, but she just didn't really have a terrible trip in there, Dan. She couldn't keep up really around the turn. She did her very best in that race, but she just really couldn't make it close.
The word was out on Little Huntress before her career debut. She took a lot of money in that race. She broke a little bit slowly from the inside post, rushed up to set the pace, and she just was run down at the end. She came back second time out, and she won by the length of the stretch at 1-5. She earned a respectable 75 buyer. Now she gets not only a class test, but she might face a little more heat than she's ever faced in her career from a pace standpoint.
Yeah, she's going to have to deal with Miss Brazil early in this race, it seems like. And so we'll just see if she can hack it. Personally, I think she's run really well in both of her races. Obviously, she has to get faster if Miss Brazil shows up with that last race. But I don't know, Dan, I think this horse is very interesting here. She's looked really good in her 2 starts.
And that last win did occur at 7 furlongs. Gulf Coast is cross-entered to Tampa Bay. She will run here off this victory in a one-turn mile event, the Cash One Stakes at Gulfstream Park. Now, I like how she kept off of the pace in the early portion. She's going to grind her way to the front here at the 8th pole. She switches over to her right lead, and she stays on gamely to win. I actually like her cutting back to 7, especially in a race with some pace, and her buyers are not bad at all, Mike.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. I mean, you're talking about a filly who's already a stakes winner, cutting back in distance in this race and doing so in a race that has some pace to set up her run. I mean, all 3 of her starts so far, she's stayed on very gamely right to the wire. If she does that in here, I mean, she could get there at the end.
That being said, we take a look at our top picks for this race, and Miss Brazil kind of blew us away with that last effort. 93 buyer. She doesn't have to run a 93 buyer in this race to win. She can actually regress a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how Cancel wants to ride her. Does he want to be very aggressive? Does he let Little Huntress go and risk being shuffled back on the inside? It'll be a very interesting race from a tactical perspective.
Yeah, that it will. We'll see what happens. If she shows up with her last race, she probably wins. That's why I put her on top. And I also feel like she beat a good filly last time too, Dan, and Carmel Swirl. So I don't know. I'm just going to take her on top. I flirted with the idea of putting Little Huntress on top, but I'll go 1-4.
Well, we saw Brittany Russell win in New York with Hello Hot Rod last week. She, of course, has Little Huntress in here. 1-4-5-2 for Mike, 1-2-5-4 for me. It's the Sunday race of the day, the Ruthless for 3-year-old fillies. Good luck.